I'm going to eat your ass.
So, menagerie time.
I said I'm going to eat your ass.
Good.
Yes, I did. See, it doesn't kick me. It kicks everyone else. It doesn't kick me. But Lex, I do want you to look at me or like look at my stream, and I want you
Oh, I
to
am.
just look at this dude. Look at this absolute.
Dude, that looks hella dope. That looks like Siva.
I love the way Necros looks. And then, do you want to see? So Necros does have a prime, and this is what his prime looks like before you like upgrade him, or like before like you change shit. Look at this absolute unit.
That looks badass. Like,
I'm
you
trying to make him look like
without
shit.
making noise.
Like,
No, don't do it.
I'm gonna show you like some of the ones I have. So here's my Power Ranger, also known as the Devil.
That looks cool.
And then here is what actual SoundCloud rappers look like on the inside. Uh, this is a dragon. Don't mind the fact that he has two fucking tails.
Oh?
Yeah, I do. Here's Fire Chicken 1.0. And then here's Fire Chicken 2.0. Yeah. Here is Day and Night Cycle. And the thing I like about this one is that with this one, its thing is basically like you have two forms and like the forms do different things. So this is the night form, and like it looks a certain way, acts a certain way, and then this is the day
That's cool.
and then this is the day form, which is basically like the complete opposite. And then here's
I like the night.
yeah, here's my Excalibur, like my base Excalibur that I started with. And then after like you get further into the game, you can get Excalibur Umbra, which is basically it's kind of like the prime frames and shit, because the prime frames are like their regular counterparts, but like their like skills and stats are a little bit better. Same thing with Excalibur Umbra. His stats are a little bit better than regular Excalibur. And once you get Excalibur Umbra, you are putting this color scheme on him. You have no choice.
Alright. You don't even mind?
And then here is my starting frame. Because I started with Excalibur, and then I stopped playing because it looked complicated. And then Warframe started streaming on Guardian Con one year. And they said, hey, if you link your Twitch Prime, you get Frost Prime for free. So I started off with Frost. And then here is Garuda. Her whole thing is basically blood. And like sucking the blood out of people. And she is majestic as fuck. I'm getting
Crap.
class, bitch.
Well, what's her name? Crap, forgot it. No. From Mortal Kombat. She was my freaking main, and I forgot her
Scarlet?
name. Yep, she's like Scarlet then.
Oh, here's Hildren, also known as Thick Bitch. She's a thick bitch.
Oh, I won't play as her. That's too thick for me.
too thick. Absolutely max thick. Here is Flaming's main, Hydroid. He's basically Cthulhu. And then here's Mr. Sandman. Don't worry about his legs. They don't work that well.
So?
I'm getting to that. I'm going through all of mine. Okay, so here's Limbo. This is like a troll frame, I would say, because his main thing is that he can go between dimensions, and
Sounds pretty cool.
he's really fun, and like basically, so like he has a banish, and then basically you cast a wave of rift energy, and it basically sends people out of my current plane of existence. So basically, if me and you are in the same plane of existence, I can use that on you, and boom, you can't shoot anything now. Okay, later. And then here's Limbo Prime. I know, I saw that. Shut up. Here's Limbo Prime. Same shit, but fucking just better.
Well, is that your alien from Area 51?
Yes. Here's no, it's Limbo. Shut up. I will kick you from this fucking party. So goddamn fast. Here's Loki. He's just a god. He's Mr. EMP.
From Marvel?
Yes,
I remember him from...
Yes.
I remember him from Thor.
And then here is his prime form. I want to let you know, a lot of my frames I have skins and heads for.
Oh, I like the prime of Loki.
I know. Fucking I love how I made him look. And then here's Mag. Oh god, that.
Oh, by the way, do I use blue runes to get the gauntlets and everything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my Mag.
Ooh.
She's a fucking Cyclops,
Max?
basically.
I like the way she looks.
Yeah, I like the way I made her look too. And then here is Mirage. And
From Apex?
Yes, from Apex. It's funny because that's her main skill is that she creates an entourage of doppelgangers. And all of them shoot, all of them can take damage.
Oh?
Yes. You already saw Necros. Here's Nidus. He is my butterfly.
Oh.
But there is a group of people in this game called the Infested, and they're basically like zombies. And Nidus is the infested frame. He basically controls that. And you have this this room in your ship, which is covered by like the infestation and shit. And there's 2 ways to get into that room. So if you do a mission that is that has the infested, after I think 72 hours, you will have a pink growth on your neck. And with that growth, you can do one or two things. You can so you can have a companion in here called a Kubrau, which is basically like a dog. And if you make a dog, but like put the growth on it, it makes like an infected dog. Or you can go into this room and like have it removed. But if you have Nidus, since Nidus is the infected frame, he can just go in there whenever he wants. And whenever he's in this room, you can see like what he looks like when like he's like in his like max like infested form. Like his like tentacles shoot out and shit like that.
That's cool.
that's cool. That's cool.
That's really cool.
Ooh. 1 second, I just activated something I didn't know I could.
Oh.
Oh, that's spooky. That's spooky, and I fucking love it. Okay, so I was Nidus, and like I went into the infested room and like sat down, and like it stabbed me, and then it started talking to me. Okay, so that's Nidus. Here's Diaboron. His whole thing is basically like healing and shit like that. But he's called Diaboron because this is the only suitable head you can have for him. Cause it legit looks like a fucking deer head.
I like the colors.
I love the colors that I got for him. And then here's Octavia. This is the Lucio of the game.
Oh, let's break it down.
But yeah, so like her thing is basically like beats damage nearby enemies. Resonator launches basically a thing to distract them. And then there's Metronome, which depending on like how you move or jump or crouch or do anything, you get certain buffs. But if you crouch to the beat, you get invisibility. Yeah, no, invisibility has a like timer in this game. And then here's Rhino. He's basically a rhino.
Reinhardt.
Basically, honestly. But like, this is his base form. And then right now in the game, you can farm for his prime form. Which is basically just like a bigger, bulkier son of a bitch, and I love him so much. And then here's Siren, which is basically like another healer type frame. Titania. I don't really know what she does, but she's like nature. And then here is Trinity Prime, and she is her things are based around giving people life and energy based on the enemies. So like I can, using one ability, I can throw something at an enemy that if someone stands near them, it like drains their life. Same thing with energy, and then like I can like bless people that are like around me and stuff like that. And then here's Valkyrie. This is Fancy's favorite, cause she is basically a little ball of rage. That's why I have her her goth skin on her. But like
that skin.
her main thing is basically hysteria, where basically she has like her claws, and basically you just go around and just fucking melee shit constantly, and you are invulnerable to damage. And then here's the Volt Prime. Volt deals with electricity, like the name says, and his whole thing is the more you stay on the ground, the more of like a charge you build up, and like the better your charge, the more damage your attacks do. And then finally, the one Flaming won't shut the fuck up about. Wisp, she has no feet, as you can see. Her thing is, her main ability is she can set down like these, sacks that are called reservoirs. And, you can either uh, set down a vitality mote, which will heal um, people, a haste mote, which will up speed, and then a shock mote, which electrocutes nearby enemies. Uh, you can pick all three. You just have to have them upgraded. Then her second ability, basically you send out, it's kind of like Mirage, where like you send a duplicate of yourself out, and then I can teleport to its position. And then her third ability, Breach Surge, which basically sends out these things that like, um, if it hits an enemy, it causes them to just like stun and shit. And if it hits a reservoir, it extends what the reservoir does. And then finally, Soul Gate, which is solar Chaos Reach. As you can see in the little preview right there. And then finally, the last frame I have, which is Wukong.
From Fortnite?
Yes, from Fortnite. God, I hate you so much. His main ability is Celestial Twin, where basically he does the opposite of what you do. So if you're shooting, he's meleeing. If you're meleeing, he's shooting. And then if you use the ability again, he attacks somebody with increased damage. His second ability, which basically makes him a gust of air that is invulnerable to damage and can move really fast towards enemies. And it heals Wukong.
Badass.
Yeah. This one, before its whole rework that it just had, was Gray's favorite. I don't know if it still is. I haven't talked to him in a while. But basically, because what it was his last ability, Primal Fury. Basically, you can summon a staff, and the way he used to work was he didn't have this whole like twin thing. He didn't have like a duplicate of himself. What his thing was basically you summon the staff, and then the more melee, like the bigger your melee combo is, the bigger your staff is. So the more range you have. And it can get fucking ridiculous. But yeah, and then his third ability, Defy, basically him and the twin become invulnerable, and they just say no to damage, and then all damage is basically just stored until it is stored until you activate circle, and then bonus armor depending on damage. Yes. And then there's all these other ones like Atlas, Baruch, Gera. Gera basically just deals with glass and shit like that. So like she like her main ability, Shattered Lash. She either throws glass at you or like an arcing attack. Her second one is basically something that like surrounds you and your it's basically a cloud of glass that attacks enemies and makes your friends invulnerable. And then there's her third ability, which is Spectrage. It shots people in mirrors, forcing them to attack themselves, and basically the mirrors just damage their attackers. And then her last ability is basically a glass wall that it has like a certain range, and if enemies can't go in or out of it, and as you're sending it up, anybody who gets touched by it is slowed down. And then basically you can use your first ability to break parts of it off to damage people on the outside. But yeah, there's a lot of people in here that I don't have, like Vauban, Zephyr, Revenant, Nyx. Mesa is basically a cowboy. Neza,
Yeehaw, partner.
Neza is a trap.
What?
Yeah. Gray, uh, Gray has Neza, and like, you could set up like different like loadouts and shit like that. And Gray has when I played on Gray's account, he had one for every character. And for Neza, his title was Girly Boy. But yeah, and then like there's like a bunch of guns you can get, like ARs, pulse rifles, bows, um, a flamethrower, Mitter. I love Mitter because it's a fucking saw blade. Quanta is like a laser. Snipers, shotguns, and then there's like semi-auto pistols, full auto pistols, burst pistols. You get throwing knives, throwing stars. Um,
I know there's Crucible. I mean, PvP in that, so.
yeah, it's a lot different. Yeah, and then the melee is where it's at for the most part, because you have like staves, swords, dual axes, dual swords. Fucking Galatine is basically just a big ass sword. Like, look at this shit. This is some fucking like Final Fantasy type shit. Look at it. Look how fucking big it is.
The
Might
day
as well-
one edition, freaking Final Fantasy 15 sword.
Just call me Kirito.
I was gonna say, yo, I could be Kirito in that game.
Yeah. Oh, and then don't mind me. Just call me Katana. And then there's like a fucking scythe. And then there's fucking nunchucks. There's fucking nunchucks. And then
Okay.
there's honestly. And then there's like brass knuckles and like there's brass knuckles and like there's like shit that goes on your feet as well.
I didn't know we're in the mafia.
Oh yeah, no, you could be anything you want. And then you could have companions. And then like you have your companions, which are for the most part, most of them are just like these like robotically enhanced organisms. Yeah, basically it's like robots and shit like that. Or you can have a cat, which in this game you can have a cat, which is called a kavat in this game, and then there's a dog, which is called a kubra. And then there's like a bunch of gear you can get and shit like that. To like where you can scan shit. You can like have like health restores and shit like that, energy restores, stuff to help your friends. If there's like a streamer or somebody you like in this game, you could I don't know if they still work, but like as you can see, Bauru has a glyph. Where is he? Where is he? There was somebody else. I think they're all just down here. Yeah, so there's where is he? There's King Cathalion's, there's his. Flynn has his. Guardian Con 2018, that's when I got that one. And then there's
So how do you get those ones?
There's a I don't know if they still work. They might not. But like, there's a code you can put into the shop to where you can get like these glyphs and shit like that. Oh, here they are. Here's Broman's. There's one for Reddit. Spoonerism has one. Summit 1G.
So are those like avatars in the game, right? Something like
Yeah, the glyphs are basically like the calling cards and shit like that.
that?
T-Rex has one. It's just a little bit of a cat. But yeah, basically, the glyph is just like a little like thing in the corner, like you can see in this corner up here.
Yeah.
It's basically just like a thing to like show like what you have, what you don't have. Just like, as you get frames, you will get like a day and night version of like their thing. And so like you can do that. There's like event ones, like these spooky ones for Christmas. That you can do. Here's ones for like Valentine's Day over here. And then basically there's an item called fuck, where is it? Oh yeah, there's also emotes. There's like a ton of emotes. And
Can I do the floss? I'm sure.
yeah, so like the glyph prism is basically just depending on your glyph, you could like put it into the world. Archwing, it's a thing that you can use to fly. Um, a cipher, um, there's like these hacking things that you can do, like on missions and shit like that. And if you find that like a hacking thing is too hard, you can use a cipher on it to just instantly do it. Codex scanner, scan shit. Um, Eros arrow skin. If you have a bow, it changes the skin of the arrow on it. Health restores health, obviously. K-Drive launcher, it's basically like the Back to the Future launcher type thing. Kinetic siphon trap. Uh, later, in the late game, you'll find, you'll meet this guy called Cephalon Samaris, and his whole thing is basically just like trying to like gather data about like everything in the universe and shit like that.
Yeah.
And basically you can go on missions for him to like to where like he'll say, hey, go to this place and scan this person, and then when you're in that mission you'll have to find a specific person, and uh, you can put down a siphon trap, and that like traps them in the air. That way you can use a synthesis scanner on them. And then there's open world areas, which is what you use the Archwing for and like the K-Drive. And you can mine shit like that, so you can have fun in Minecraft. Or you can fish.
Oh.
And then there's like there are like these like specters you can craft. And a lot of them, so like the Vapor Spectre, that's basically just like it's like a really like low level copy of your frame, and like it has like 1 star that shows you slow. Force Spectre's the same thing but bigger. Ancient Healer Spectre, it's basically just a copy of the enemy. Charger, Clem, Lancer, Moa, Boy. But yeah, and then like you can see like get um you can get all these like different things that like you can build and shit like that. Like you can build guns, you can build like parts for frames and shit like that. Like and like that's how you get the other frames in this game. Is you go out and like you farm for them. So like for Chroma, um, Chroma is a frame where basically you get his blueprint, like where it says like what you need to build him, like this main blueprint. You get that from a mission, and then as you play throughout the game, you'll get the blueprints for his other parts. And all frames require you to have a neuroptics, which is like the head, the chassis, and the systems, and
Yeah.
like you can like farm those and get like that. So for Chroma, I need his systems, and so for the Chroma systems, I need to farm the materials that it says right here. And Chroma's one of the harder ones to build, just because it requires you to use bits and pieces from other frames.
Yeah.
But like, there's like Ember you can build. Equinox is a fun one to farm, but a hard one to farm as well. Because for Equinox, you basically have to build two separate frames. Because Equinox is like a day-night type thing, so you have to farm one guy to get the Equinox day aspect blueprint, and then all like the Equinox day shit, and then same thing
Yeah.
for the night aspect. And then like you can build Excalibur, you can build Frost, Frost Prime, Guerra, Garuda, Harrow. You can build all the frames. You can get all the frames for free. It just some of them are easier to farm for than others, because some of them you can just kill like a certain boss. Like for Ember, you can kill a certain boss, Excalibur, but like Guerra is an RNG based one because you have to complete a high level bounty, and then hopefully you get her parts, and then um, after that comes the prime frames and like the prime guns, and all of the prime stuff. There's um, basically three main ways to get it. Um, if you spend money, if you have the money, you can buy like um, like frames by themselves in the store. So
Mm-hmm.
like right now, if you have the money, you could buy Wukong Prime, and like he comes with like it's the frame and like weapons related to him, and then you
Yeah.
can also um, Warframe releases two frames and like stuff related to those frames out into the public for us to farm for or buy or trade or whatever. And after those 3 months, they go away for a certain amount of time. And so if you have the money, you can buy them. There's a currency you can buy in this game called Platinum, which is this like little silver thing in the top right hand corner. And then you can buy Platinum, and then you can use that Platinum to either buy in-game stuff yourself, like cosmetics, um, armor for shit, the Roombas. You can use it. Um, you can use it to upgrade your inventory, because you can buy Warframe slots, and you can buy weapon slots, and then also like companion slots and shit like that. And then you can buy like cosmetics and shit like that, like uh, these sigils go on your frames, and then there's like skins you can do and shit like that. There's skins for guns, and then basically you can use the plat to either buy stuff directly, or there is a trade strat, and there's a trading system in this game, and basically what it is people will um, they'll either say they want to buy something or they want to sell something, and then like you can, if someone has something, if someone is selling something that you want and you got the platinum for it, you can message them and be like, hey, I want to buy that. Or if you have or later on in the game when you start selling shit, you can people will message you like, hey, I want to buy that, and then you can trade with them and they'll give you platinum, that way you can buy stuff. But that's the main way a lot of people get their prime stuff, is by trading and buying from other people. And then there's the hard way, which is farming. And the way to farm for them is as you play the game, you'll get these things called relics. And depending on what relic you have, um, depends on what you get. So relics can have a multitude of different things. So like this first one, for instance, it has 6 possible things you can get from it. The most common things you can get from it are parts for are those first 3 things: the prime receiver, the blueprint, and the lower limb. And then the uncommon are the stock and the blade, and then the rare is the neuroptics. And then basically, you are okay.
All right.
Talk to you later. Yeah, no problem. Night.
Good night.
Yep. See you tomorrow. Yeah, you do. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game, and I feel like you would like it. It's just once you start playing, I can help you through it and take you like step
All
by
right.
step to shit. And like as you play through the game will slowly introduce you to this type of shit. And like it doesn't really explain it that well in like the tutorials it has. But that's what like your friends are for. But I'm going to go ahead and head to a mission that you can see like what that looks like.
All right.
I'm gonna go onto my fire chicken. Oh yeah, and then like one more thing is that like with frames, like frames and guns and shit like that, you can upgrade them to like do certain stuff, and like you can upgrade their stats and shit like that.
Yeah.
Ugh. And one thing I like about this character is all the frames have like some upgrades that are specific to them. And this character that I have, Ember, I have an upgrade for her 4th ability, where if people get hit by it, they get knocked down. And the funny thing about that is, with this character, basically all I do is I pop that 4th ability and then I run around in circles. I don't shoot, I don't do anything.
It's funny.
Oh, something I wish Destiny would do. You can move around during the loading screen.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I was like, yo, that's dope.
Did you let? Oh, but did you see the way my ship was set up? I like the way my ship looks.
The colors. Yeah, they are pretty.
Here's my kid.
Your Wally?
And my lolly has a laser. But yeah, later on in the game, when you unlock the kid, there's like skill trees you can do for the kid that like upgrade just like a bunch of shit. And the one me, Fancy, and Flaming went for is one that helps everybody, and the fact that this ring I create, if you're standing inside it, it gives you energy.
Oh.
So yeah, so I just put my 4th ability, which is like all like this purple fire you see around you, and as people get hit by it, they get knocked down. And most like all the frames have like a passive ability that they have, and the thing I like about Ember's passive ability is her passive ability is basically if I get set on fire, I get my energy back really fast.
Interesting.
Oh, but next game, I'll show you how all of us use Excalibur in this mission. Because
All right.
this mission I'm doing right now is a mission that me, Fancy and Flame, we used to level up stuff. Just because it's just constant enemies that come at you. So it's just a lot of good like experience to get, and like you get a lot of experience for like using your abilities and shit like that. Come on, come around the corner. Thank you. Oh god, he fell from above. I wasn't ready for that. Ow. Yes, sir, I am letting them come in the middle. Before they get knocked down and die. Yeah, that's another thing I like, is, as you level up, you can, like, your, energy gets refilled. So, if you're using somebody like I do, where they have an ability that constantly drains their energy, when you level up, it's just like, hey, free shit. Oh yeah, here's that that thing I was talking about. You can sit. You're gonna say, oh god, dick.
Ooh.
Oh no, the Moy are talking to us.
The scooching doors.
That fucking pissed me off. They're just like, shut the fuck up, God.
Shut up, boy.
Shut up, Moy. No one likes you. And then I find it funny because like I watched Carson's video about that, and like I watched a second video by fucking Zobrad, and the person he's playing with is just like, crush me, daddy.
Oh my.
Oh,
We got all the opulent gear now.
You got what?
All the opulent gear
Oh, nice.
for my warlock.
I need to do a fucking I need to get the fucking arms and shit. Well, not the arms.
I
need to
actually
get the
like
legs
the
and
warlocks.
clothes.
That's what I'm doing right now. Just doing the menagerie.
Yeah, I'm been needing to grind a lot on Warframe.
I was hoping it was gonna give me 750 gauntlets. Give me 749.
Rip.
Yeah, and I'm 748.
Oh, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Hmm.
On your character, did you spend the free 50 platinum you got?
For what?
When you start Warframe, you get 50 platinum for free.
I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I would just look at the sword and be like, huh, that's nice. Something
Yeah.
I won't get.
Something I would say is when you start again, if like you haven't spent that platinum, I would say spend it on I would say get one Warframe slot, and then get as many weapon slots as you can.
Alright.
Because I know the Warframe slots are 25, and I can't remember how much the weapon slots are, but the weapon slots are cheaper than the Warframe slots. Yeah. And but it's really good to, like, as a beginner, to upgrade that. That way you can that way, like, later on when you start farming for frames and shit, you can actually, like, use them.
Alright.
Oh, yeah. So, look, if I set myself on fire, I get my energy back. If it actually fucking worked that time, I'm fucking mad. Set me on fire. There you go. See? So I set myself on fire, and then I just gain my energy back really fast. But yeah, there's a lot of missions like this that I'm doing right now, where it's just like survival type missions and shit like that. And a thing I like about that is you can choose when you want to leave.
Isn't it just like you have to do waves and stuff?
Yeah. So like this what I'm
Yeah.
doing. This what I'm doing right now. It's a defense mission where like you have to like defend like this pod, and every 5 waves you get something, and then you can choose to either leave or stay. Kill the cat. Lex, what time are you gonna be on tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Usually I let my brother play, so I don't know.
Yeah, because I was gonna say just let me know what time you're gonna be on, and I can see if I can be on at that time. Because
Alright.
I'm probably gonna get off after this mission. I
Alright.
I just wanted to show you a little bit of this game and explain a lot of
Yeah, I
things.
don't mind.
I don't know why I try to just explain shit the hardest way possible. But yeah, cause once you get on, we can play this for a little bit if you want to, and then
Alright.
get you a little whiz do it.
What? How did that arrow shot go through him?
Because you
I
didn't
like the colors though.
shoot better. You said you like the colors?
Yeah, just how it's vibrant.
Yeah. That's one thing I hate is a lot of like the really good because the game gives you like base colors for free, and then like you have to buy a lot of like the other like really cool ones, but like they don't cost that much. And then like they do have some that are like events type things, like event ones that are they're not free, but they cost there's a currency in this game called credits, which is basically like the glimmer of destiny. But basically the events, like the event color schemes, cost just 1 credit. yeah. When you do join, I'll probably I could probably get you like some colors if you wanted to.
All
Let's
right.
see. Let's see, because I think I could get you like two.
It's a long list.
God, where are they? Oh, here, color palettes. Oh no, I'd have to just buy a little bit. But yeah, like there's all like these like color palettes and a lot of them look really cool. My favorite is this one, the infested one, just cause green and purple.
Yeah.
And then fancy like smoke. He likes smoke and he likes ice just cause he likes white and black and then he likes blue and shit like that. But what I'll probably do is I'm probably gonna buy some platinum and I'll buy you like these two like base ones, like the color, like the classic and the classic saturated for you.
All right.
That way, because like the starting colors they gave you are not good at all. Cause let's see, yeah, because what they do is they give you like the classic colors, but it's just like this middle row.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll see this.
yeah, it's the like the middle row of the classic. But yeah, I can give you that one. But yeah, see, so like there's like Valentine, which was like a special event one, and then there's Shamrock, which was a special event one, and then PS4 or PSIV, that was a special one. But yeah. Oh. Yeah. When I get on tomorrow, I'll do that for you.
All right. I'll message you when.
Yeah, no problem. Close application.